Hey YouTube, welcome to my new channel. This channel is going to be about stress reduction and some meditation. And in this first series of videos, I'm going to focus on a special type of meditation that's useful for high stress situations. And then after that, what I'd like to do is create another series of videos about maintaining an ongoing stress reduction / meditation practice. And it'll also to some degree be focused on helping you cope with whatever situation you're faced with now. So why stress reduction? Why should you even care about it? Well, for one reason, stress can cause depression. And if you're exposed to high intensity stress, even for a short period of time, you can get post-traumatic stress syndrome. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get PTSD. What I'm suggesting is that there's a physiological process that between stress and its consequences, depression, PTSD, and other things. It's cause and effect. It's not some spooky stuff. But many Americans fail to really appreciate the cause and effect nature between stress and the consequences. So in the United States, there's this common belief that, if you're exposed to stress for a long period of time, it's going to make you tough. That simply isn't true. It gradually breaks down your emotional control systems. And how fast that operates? Well, you won't know until it's too late. Well, there's another reason to deal with stress, especially if you have some other ongoing life situation or challenge. And that is that anxiety, anger, worrying, all these things can impair your ability to deal with all kinds of problems. Because when you're under high stress, your body and your mind react in such a way that your attention is very narrowly focused on the problem situation, right? If you're being chased by a lion, are you going to be focused on that situation and resolving that? Or, while you're running, are you going to be reviewing old crossword puzzles in your mind? What do you think? Now, in the old days, when there really were lions chasing us around, it was probably an advantage to focus all of our attention on that. Our life expectancy was only a third of what it is today anyway. But, where I live today, we don't have lions. But people have problems at work or at school, with relationships, or in general, conflicts between what you want and what you have. In the old days, what you wanted was to be lion-free, and what you had was a lion on your ass. There was the gap there, what you want and what you have. And to some degree, that gap is the cause, related to the stress. And if you have a lion on your ass, what you're going to do is you're going to burn all your resources to correct that problem situation. Doesn't matter if doing so is going to hurt you in the long run. You don't have the time to conduct a careful, thorough analysis of your long-term situation when you're under stress because you're reacting to this immediate situation. So let me kind of break it down into pieces. One is that stress is going to constrain the latitude of your focus to almost exclusively this problem situation. When you're under stress, you might make hasty decisions. Once again, you have a lion on your ass, you got to act now. And that's the way the mind is kind of programmed to react now under stress. You might also be unable to view your situation objectively or to consider your situation from a new point of view. And that is, once again, once you start thinking along these narrow terms, that process of thinking and repeating those thoughts programs your mind to repeat those thoughts once again. It's not robotic programming, it's just an increased probability that these thoughts and emotions will be repeated. Another side effect of stress is that your attention span will be impaired, in part because when you try to think of a new way to deal with your problem, your mind is going to be pulled back into its old ways of thinking in that narrow little rut that you've dug for yourself over the years from your repeated stress. So this constrained pattern of thinking that's associated with stress does something else to you. Because your mind is being pulled back into this narrow focus, you don't have the cognitive resources to simply perceive your surroundings and use your mind for the perception and experience of what's happening, for the perception and experience of happiness or contentment, because your cognitive resources are wasted focusing on this problem situation over and over again. The guy being chased by a lion, do you think he was enjoying the sunset? I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So, I mean, to recap, stress creates the physiological conditions that constrain your latitude of thoughts and impair your ability to use the full capacity of your reasoning skills. But we can, to some degree, break that cycle by physically relaxing the body. And this, once again, is a cause and effect relationship. The relaxation can reduce the stress hormones. It's a physiological cause and effect process. No spooky stuff. Now, in combination with the physical relaxation, we can learn some techniques for managing your attention. And this takes practice. It's a skill developed through practice, not through book learning. And what we do with the attention is we find a way to prevent the thoughts from refueling the next round of anxiety. And these thoughts actually can trigger physical arousal, restart those stress hormones, and keep the whole process. But when we break the cycle through physical relaxation and attention training, we can collapse that meditation, or collapse that stress cycle. Now, another situation when you're starting a process like this is your expectations. You're probably going to have expectations about what you want from these videos or from meditation, and those thoughts will distract you. But before I ask you to drop all your expectations, let me kind of explain a couple things related to your expectations. This stress reduction process can, to some degree, free your mind from these constraining conditions of stress. But that's not going to make you a super genius. It might help you make a couple key decisions that will improve your current condition. Okay, but humans still have other challenges with mastering all the problems that life deals us. I think the real benefit from this, and you might not agree with me now, the real benefit is that when you free your mind from this constraining effects of stress, you are in a better position to simply feel happiness and contentment. And you also might be in a better position to free yourself from the fears or desires or the actual situations that prevent you from being content or happy. Now, it's hard to know how your situation will change when you have lower stress, but I suggest that freeing yourself from stress and just achieving happiness is going to be very important. And I think that you'll find that there is a way to be content that's different than the ways that you have in mind right now. Well, anyway, I think that's enough talking for right now. The subsequent videos will be focused more on techniques and practicing things, and there won't be as much chatting. So thanks for watching.